Hey guys, JCamman99 here. I'm going to go over some playoff scenarios with you guys today. Bills are 5-5, just lost to the Patriots. Lots of teams are 5-5, so I wanted to go through the threats that we have to the wild card race, all the teams that are basically involved and competing against us for that 6th wild card spot, and go through what I think their schedule is going to be and what our chances are of actually making the playoffs. So, first off, New England, not a threat anymore. They're going to win the division. Like, whatever happens to them happens to them. They're not going to threaten our wild card spot. We're not going to win the division. We got to give up on that. So the following teams are actually threats: the Jets, Dolphins, Bengals, Steelers, Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, Colts, and Texans. Now, some people are on the bandwagon thinking that the Jaguars might have a shot. I'm telling you right now, I'm eliminating the Jaguars right now. I know mathematically, I just don't see it. So I'm not going to do a Jaguars playoff scenario. I am leaving that out. But all those other teams I'm going to go through and see whether or not the Bills come out on top or if we are still out. So let's take a look. The Jets. Here's their schedule. They play the Dolphins, Giants, Titans, Cowboys, Patriots, and Bills. These are the Jets. So I basically only have them beating the Dolphins and the Titans. I think that I'm under the impression that the Giants are going to make the Super Bowl. Not so much that they're the best team in the NFC, but once they get in the playoffs, they're going to make a run. Romo's back, so I think the Cowboys will pull it off. Patriots will clearly pull it off, and I think the Bills at home the last week of the season will win. So that puts the Jets at 7-9. They are not a threat. All right, let's take a look at the Dolphins. We got the Jets, Ravens, Giants, Chargers, Colts, and Patriots. Now they're going to do a little bit better than the Jets. I have them basically doing a win-loss type thing. They'll lose to the Jets, but they'll beat the Ravens. The Ravens just lost Flacco; they're done. They'll lose to the Giants again. I think the Giants are doing really well. I think they'll beat the Chargers. I think they'll actually beat the Colts as well, but then they'll lose to the Patriots. Now, there is a chance. No, actually, no, I take that back. There's no chance. If they're 15-0, they're not going to lose that last game. It's not going to happen. So, so the Dolphins also go 7-9, and they have basically no chance of making the playoffs as well. So, in my scenario, the Jets and the Dolphins aren't the threats. So let's talk Bengals because they've just lost a couple games. Let's see what the rest of their schedule is. They're playing the Rams, Browns, Steelers, 49ers, Broncos, and Ravens. So yes, the reason the Bengals are going to win the division is because their schedule is pretty easy. Case Keenum's not going to get it done, so they're going to beat the Rams, they're going to beat the Browns, they're going to lose to the Steelers, they're going to beat the 49ers, they're going to lose to the Broncos. Their defense is still pretty sound, and then they'll beat the Ravens in Week 17. So the Bengals come out with a 12-4 record and clinch their division. So let's take a look at the Steelers. I think we also kind of see where this is going, and I have the Steelers doing really well. I have them losing to the Seahawks because they are going to be on the Seahawks home turf. But then I have them winning out. I have them beating the Colts, Bengals, Broncos, Ravens, and Browns all right in a row. Two of those teams are bad, and the rest are... The Bengals and Broncos are definitely toss-ups, but I just see them being the better team. I mean, if Big Ben's in, I think the Steelers are going to have it, and I see them finishing at 11-5. So I'll just give it away right now. The Steelers will clinch the 5th wild card seed, and the Bengals will get the division for the North. So now since we went through the North, let's go through the West. The West is the challenging one. The West, I have no idea. The Chiefs look unstoppable. Osweiler made me kind of a believer, and the Raiders are also really good too, even though they're only 4-6. So let's take a look and see what's going on now. So Broncos, they're playing the Patriots, Chargers, Raiders, Steelers, Bengals, and Chargers again. So playing the Chargers again twice is definitely a helpful thing for the Broncos, but I do see them losing one of those. I see them going to the Patriots and losing, Chargers and losing. But I think then Osweiler is going to find his legs, or Peyton, whoever. And they'll beat the Raiders. They'll lose to the Steelers, like I mentioned before. But then they're going to finish strong. I think they'll beat the Bengals and the Chargers, thus securing their the division. So the Broncos somehow hang on. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I basically just explained it. But they are going to hang on and win the AFC West. So now we have to look at the Chiefs and the Raiders and see if either one of them has a chance of securing the sixth round. So, or the sixth wild card, or the second wild card, sixth seed. You know what I mean? All right, Chiefs. They play the Bills. They play the Raiders. They play the Chargers. The Ravens. Then Browns. Then Raiders. So this is me taking a leap of faith. Each year for us, it seems to have come down to us losing to the Browns. Losing to the Chiefs 2 years in a row. I think we're finally going to get the Chiefs monkey off our back, and we're going to beat them this time, despite how good they're doing. And then I think with the Chiefs and the Raiders, they're just going to be coin tosses, so I have them losing. So I have them losing twice in a row. But then I see them finishing strong. I see them going down the stretch, beating the Chargers, the Ravens, the Browns, and the Raiders. So at the end of the day, they are going to be 9-7. So they're looking pretty good for that wild card spot. But again, and that's kind of the point. That's a really good point that I want to make here, is that the Chiefs have to pretty much still win out to have a really good, secure spot. They have very little margin of error. So, because they had that horrible start to the season, they're like 1-5. So I'm not too worried about the Chiefs as much as I thought I was. Once I saw the schedule, I'm like, okay, they need to win a lot of games. So that's something to keep in mind. Raiders. Now, are the Raiders going to kind of become the old Raiders? Yeah. Well, they're gonna do good for a while. They're gonna beat the Titans. They're gonna beat the Chiefs, and honestly, they're gonna kind of look strong again. But then they have a tough road at the end. They play the Broncos, Packers, Chiefs, and Chargers. I think they'll beat the Chargers. I think they'll sweep them. But Broncos and Packers, they'll lose to both of them, and I think the Chiefs will get it strong at the end of the season, especially since they'll be going for the wild card as well. So, like I kind of just mentioned, so. At the end of the day, the Raiders are going to end up being 7-9. So the Raiders are actually also out of the picture. So the only team we're really worried about right now, in terms of taking away the second wild card spot, is the Chiefs in this scenario. So let's take a look at the South. We have to do it. The Colts. They're gonna kind of ride out a little bit. I think they'll beat the Bucs, lose to the Steelers. They'll beat the Chargers, they'll beat the Texans, and I'm basically sticking with the theory that they beat their division rivals. I'm going with that theory this way forward. So they're going to beat the Jaguars, the Texans, and the Titans, but they will lose to the Dolphins. So they will end up being 9-7. So I should quickly say that 9-7 is where I don't see them going any higher than 9-7. And there's pretty much no margin for error in the division. They have to win out in their division to be in this position. So that being said, let's take a look at the Texans. Okay, so the Texans play Saints, Bills, Patriots, Colts, Titans, and Jaguars. So unfortunately, in a few weeks from now, we will have to root for the Patriots. This sucks. But yeah, Saints. I think the Saints will get them. I do have them beating Buffalo. I think with the Chiefs and the Texans, one of them's going to win, so I kind of picked the Texans. Then you're going to see the Patriots. They're going to lose to the Patriots. Again, they'll lose to the Colts, given the division thing. And because I think the Titans and the Jaguars aren't doing very well, they'll win out and they'll beat the Titans and the Jaguars. So, at the end of the day, I see the Texans having an 8-8 record. So there you go. The Colts, based on that, are in. They're not a threat. So right now, we have 2 threats. The Chiefs and the Texans, which makes the next 2 games huge. I can't emphasize that enough. So let's finally take a look and see if how the Bills do in this scenario. And kind of like the Chiefs and the Texans, there's really no margin for error. So we lost to the Patriots. So like I said, I already gave away the first 2. We beat the Chiefs. We lose to the Texans. Now, I should emphasize this very clearly. If that's the other way around, that swaps. Like, that's it in this scenario. Like, if the Chiefs get one more game in the scenario, I know it can vary. That's it. That's the end of the story. So that Chiefs game's huge. Or we have to rebound and win against the Texans, but still, it really won't matter. So yeah, the Chiefs game's huge. So Chiefs we win, Texans we lose, and then I had to make some guesses here. I think we're going to beat the Eagles because LeSean McCoy is going to tear it up against Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is looking pretty bad. Washington's a trap game. I can't emphasize that enough. Like, we can't go in there thinking that's a gimme. A matter of fact, I originally had that as a loss, but I changed it to a win because I think we will realize the importance and pull it out. Cowboys, Romo's back. I think we will lose to the Cowboys, unfortunately. I will be at that game, so I'm a little disappointed about that. And finally, Texas, and then finally the Jets. I think at home, just the matchup between Gailey and Rex Ryan, I think we have the Jets. So I have the Bills coming up at 9-7. Now, according to this one scenario, because the Chiefs and the Bills are 9-7, the tiebreaker will go to the Bills. And a lot of that has to do with that win, and also other tie-breaking scenarios as well. So, as of right now, based on this bracket, I do actually think the Bills will get into the playoffs. There's not a lot of margin of error, and anything can happen, but based on really looking at the schedules realistically, I think the Bills have a 50-50 shot. That's really where I'm at. I know it's not really giving an awesome outgoing percentage, but I think it's a coin toss whether or not we get in, which is honestly a lot better than it has been any point in the last 15 years, really. So I want to hear your thoughts. Tell me if you think we have a better chance of getting in or a worse chance of getting in, or some other key matchups that might be a little bit more important that I haven't thought about. Like, for example, last week, or the Raiders and Lions. Like, I actually had us not in until that game happened, and once the Raiders lost, then it's changed like the entire scenario. And same thing with Osweiler winning against the Bears. Those two things changed the entire board, and now the Bills are in. But before that, it was the Chiefs winning the division and the Raiders getting the wild card. So, like, any given Sunday, things will change. But that's where I see things right now, so let me know your thoughts. And thank you very much for watching this video, and take care.